Hello? Wow. Okay. Great. I can hear myself. Welcome back to our Musician on Mission recital series. Today we are so privileged to have our old friend back. This is Rafael Ribeiro. Um, he is from Brazil and he's flying back to Brazil this Wednesday, actually, because I feel sorry to hear that his mom is diagnosed with leukemia. So it's quite a hard time for him and for his family. So I would really want to ask you to keep his family in prayer. Um, so I am really grateful that he's here today and presenting a concert with me. Because we have to run to another concert tonight, which is like crazy schedule. But welcome to the Musicians Live. So today we are going to do only one Franck sonata, but this sonata is, you have heard one movement from it. The whole thing is more than 30 minutes, so it's still substantial. Uh, so we are going to play it without break, but before that, we want to give you a small introduction to the music. So I will invite Ravel to talk about it.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me here again, and I'm really glad to be here. Just gonna take this a little bit. It's easy to read my notations here. So, César Franck, or César Franck in English pronunciation, is a composer, a French. Actually, he was born in Liège, Belgium, and then he moved to Paris. So we say that he's a French composer. He was born in 1822 and he died in 1890. He was very famous for composing for religious music for churches in Paris. He worked as an organist in the most famous church of Paris as well, in France. And because of that, most of his compositions has this religious character, which is very impressive. He was a famous organist as well, and he was a teacher at the Paris Conservatoire, one of the most famous conservatoire in the world. So he's very good. And about this piece, it was a wedding gift to a very famous violinist, friend of Franck. And it's so funny because César Franck decided to give to the violinist this gift in his wedding, 2 hours before the ceremony, and they decided to perform this piece at the party 2 hours later. And it's a very challenging piece, as you guys are gonna listen tonight. We're gonna play the 4 movement. The first movement, you probably gonna notice this religious character is very introspective, it's very quiet, very beautiful. Then we go to the second movement, it's like a storm coming, and you guys are gonna see when Crystal starts to play the beginning, it's crazy because it's gonna sound like a concerto for piano and orchestra. She needs to do a lot of work. You guys are gonna see her fingers just jumping around the piano. The third movement, it's something very far away from here, I would say. So it's gonna transport us, all of us, to another kind of another environment. And the last movement is, I say, it's when the spring's coming, the blue skies, the flowers, it's really beautiful. It's simple, but really beautiful. So I hope everyone enjoys our sonata in A major by Franck.
Thank you so much again for listening. And I want to give special thanks to my page turner. So, as usual, this is the time for you to ask us any questions and or any comments. Please, just raise your hand and then, please. For me, I did not keep track on how many hours but I think at least a month of learning the piece, of learning the notes, because this is quite challenging, especially the second movement. It's one of the most challenging piece in the piano accompany repertoire. Along with, so this is the Franck Sonata, and then the cello Chopin Sonata, which I also played. These are like the most difficult pieces for piano accompaniment.
Yeah, the same. So for me, it's about 1 month of preparation, and then we go to rehearsals to put together all this music. So I would say about 84 hours, something like that. Just kidding.
Anything else? Yes. Go ahead.
What's the longest piece you've played without a break?
Well, Hammerklavier. I played one movement here, but the whole thing is more than 50 minutes. Yeah, and it's a solo piece. After playing that, I feel I am reborn. Like I experienced the death, and then I get my life back.
So for me, it was a concerto for flute and orchestra. It's way It's unfair because it's only 35 minutes, so it's not that long. Yeah.
It's long. Anything else? Yes, please. Because that's unfair. We have two hands. And we have basically on each staff, we also have like several voices because we have 5 fingers on each hand. So we have 4 lines, 2 lines, like 4 of the 5.
Yeah.
But for you, you also
I just have my line.
Yeah,
and
only
Crystal
one
have
line.
like one line for each hand, and also the flute part on
Yeah.
her score. So
Yeah.
it's a little larger. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, go ahead. 5 hours, at least. I wish I can do more.
Same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
4 to 5 hours every day.
I'm not scaring you, right?
But I started with 10 minutes, just to let you know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
How long will you be back in your home country?
I think I'm gonna be there until the fall semester starts, and then I will come back. Yeah.
Go ahead.
My son wanted to know when you guys both started playing.
Together. Oh,
No, I started when I was 6, but my mother was a musician as well. She sings and she plays the piano. She also plays a Chinese instrument. It's called guzheng. And so she gave me, sort of like I listened to music all the time. So, but the training, I think I started at age of 6 or 6.5.
I started learning music with 6 years old with Spanish guitar and recorder. And then when I was 11, I went to the flute. Yeah. All right.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your questions, and thank you so much for being here. I look forward to our next concert next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.